Hi, I'm Andy, and this is my amazing story of connections. It goes back a few years to the time that I started turning wooden pens as a hobby. I had so many pens that I didn't want to sell, but I knew the time had come that I had to give some away. So I did this great DIY stylus giveaway. I found 7 or 8 people in different parts of the world, people that I've been quite inspired by because they're so creative, so innovative. They've just shared so many interesting things through Twitter and Instagram. And I actually mailed a bunch of them some of my pens. I wanted to put them in the hands of these people that I admired so much. One of those people was Alan. I met Alan back in 2011, and it was an amazing meeting, just meeting one of my online idols, someone who shared so much and I'd learned so much from. So he and I connected in some different ways back in 2011, but about a year and a half later, I was on a trip out to Vancouver Island visiting family, and I took a picture of this arbutus tree. And these arbutus trees are amazing because they shed their bark and they're just a fascinating tree. And Alan saw this picture that I shared on Instagram and said, hey, that looks a lot like these Manzanita trees that we have down in Arizona where I live. And we just got dialoguing back and forth, and sure enough, about a month later, this piece of Manzanita appears on my doorstep. So what do I do with this piece of wood that Alan shipped me from the desert? Well, I turned it into pens, of course, and I mailed a few back down to Arizona. I actually started turning bowls and all kinds of other things out of this piece of wood, but I just think it's pretty amazing just to see what can happen when you share some of the things you're doing in such public spaces. And it was just a few months ago that I was just checking through my Twitter feed and I saw Alan tweet about an interview he was doing with Howard Rheingold. And sure enough, I'm watching this interview and my name comes up as being this guy up in Canada that Alan mailed a piece of wood to, and now all of a sudden Howard Rheingold's turning wooden pens. It's amazing to think what can happen in this day and age, all because of the connections that we make.
I met another guy up in Winnipeg, Andy McKeel, who's also a wood turner. And I sent him a piece of Manzanita. You remember that?
Yeah.
That real kind of gnarly. I found a thick piece, and he sent me back. He makes pens, and he